The station floated in silence, a ring of pale metal turning slowly around a dim blue star. From the outside, it looked calm and orderly, like every other structure built by the galactic Concord. From the inside, it felt cold in a way that had nothing to do with temperature. Elias Mar walked down the corridor with measured steps, his hands folded behind his back the way he had been taught during orientation. The floor responded softly under his boots, adjusting to his weight. Lights followed him, brightening as he passed and dimming again once he moved on. The air smelled clean, almost empty, filtered so carefully that it carried no hint of life. He reminded himself to breathe normally. This was not a battlefield. No weapons were allowed here. No shouting, no blood, no visible suffering. Everything about the detention wing was designed to look peaceful. And yet, Elias felt more nervous than he ever had during his long training years back on Earth. He was the first human ever allowed this deep into a conquered detention facility. At the end of the corridor, a tall figure waited. The being had four jointed limbs and skin like smooth stone, shifting slightly in color as it moved. Its eyes were wide and unblinking, reflecting data streams that only it could see. "You may proceed," the warden said, its voice calm and even, translated instantly into Elias' earpiece. "You have exactly 1 standard hour." Elias nodded. "Thank you." The warden stepped aside, and the final door opened without a sound. The cell was larger than Elias expected. It was not a cage with bars, but a wide circular room, empty except for a faintly glowing field at its center. The field shimmered like frozen air, almost beautiful if one did not know what it was meant to do. Inside the field stood the prisoner. The alien was tall and thin, its body covered in smooth green skin that seemed almost alive with subtle movement. Faint lines of light ran beneath the surface, pulsing slowly like a quiet heartbeat. Its eyes were large and dark, with no visible pupils, and they were fixed on Elias the moment he stepped inside. The prisoner did not move. Elias stopped a few paces away from the containment field. He felt the familiar pressure of observation as unseen sensors focused on him. Every breath, every movement, every word would be recorded and analyzed. He had been given pages of instructions, suggested questions, approved statements, warnings about what not to say. He ignored them. Slowly, carefully, Elias inclined his head. "My name is Elias Mar," he said, speaking clearly and calmly. "I am from Earth." The alien remained still. No sound came from it, no movement that Elias could see. Elias swallowed and continued. "I was told you do not have a recorded name. If that is true, I would like to ask how you prefer to be addressed." Behind the walls, alarms did not sound, but data spiked sharply. The observers noticed. No one had ever asked the prisoner a question like that. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, very slowly, the green of the prisoner's skin shifted. It darkened slightly, then brightened again, forming a pattern Elias did not recognize. His translator remained silent. "I'm not here to question you," Elias added gently. "I'm not here to judge you either. I'm here to listen if you wish to speak." The alien's eyes blinked once. Elias felt his heart pound, but he kept his face calm. He did not move closer. He did not raise his voice. Minutes passed. Finally, a sound emerged from the containment field. It was soft, almost like breath moving through leaves. Elias' translator struggled for a second, then produced a rough interpretation. "You speak as if I remain." Elias let out a slow breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "You do remain," he said, "at least to me." The alien's skin flickered again, the light beneath it becoming slightly stronger. "Others," the prisoner said, its voice uneven but growing steadier, "speak as if I am already gone." Elias nodded. "On Earth, we believe that as long as someone can listen, no one is truly gone." That answer was not in any manual. The prisoner tilted its head, studying him with new focus. "You are different." "So I've been told," Elias replied with a small smile. Silence settled again, but it felt different now. Not empty, not heavy. Elias glanced around the room. "If I say something wrong, you don't have to answer," he said. "If you don't want me here, I can leave." "You came," the prisoner said slowly. "No one else came." Elias felt a tightness in his chest. "That shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry it did." The alien stared at him, unmoving. Then quietly it asked, "Why are you here, human?" Elias considered the question carefully. "Because my people are new to this alliance, and because we noticed that you have been here for a very long time." "How long?" the prisoner asked. Elias hesitated. "By Earth time, a little over 300 years." The light beneath the green skin dimmed. "Longer," the prisoner said, "for me." Elias nodded again. "I believe you." Another pause followed. This one stretched longer than the last. Elias resisted the urge to fill the silence. He had learned during difficult negotiations that silence often said more than words. At last the prisoner spoke again. "They call me dangerous." "Yes," Elias said carefully. "That is what the records say. Do you believe them?" Elias met the alien's gaze. "I don't know you well enough to decide that. That's why I'm here." The prisoner seemed to consider this. Its skin shifted again, forming a slow, spiraling pattern. "You do not carry fear as others do," it said. "I carry it," Elias replied softly. "I just don't let it speak for me." Something changed then. The prisoner straightened slightly, its posture no longer passive, no longer resigned. "I remember," it said. Elias leaned forward just a little. "You remember what?" "Everything," the prisoner answered. "They tried to take it, they failed." The containment field hummed faintly, reacting to the change in neural activity. Outside the room, observers exchanged uneasy signals. Elias kept his voice calm. "That must be heavy to carry alone." The prisoner's eyes focused sharply on him. "You do not know what alone means." "You're right," Elias said. "I don't, but I would like to understand if you're willing." The alien was silent for a long time. Then it said, "Once my kind were keepers. We held the past so others could move forward without forgetting who they were." "What happened?" Elias asked. "They decided memory was inconvenient." The words were simple, but the weight behind them was enormous. Elias closed his eyes briefly, then opened them again. "On Earth, we've tried to erase parts of our past too," he said. "It never worked. The past always finds a way to return." The prisoner studied him. "That is why they fear you." Elias frowned. "Fear us?" "You remember and still choose to hope," the alien said. "That is dangerous." A faint sound escaped Elias, halfway between a laugh and a breath. "Hope gets us in trouble a lot." The prisoner's skin brightened slightly, the glow warmer now. "Then you understand." Time passed more quickly after that. Elias spoke about Earth in simple terms. Blue oceans, loud cities, quiet deserts, mistakes humanity had made and the slow, painful effort to learn from them. He did not exaggerate. He did not pretend humans were perfect. The prisoner listened. When the hour ended, the containment field dimmed slightly, signaling the end of the session. "I have to go," Elias said, regret clear in his voice. "But I can come back." "Will you?" the prisoner asked. "Yes," Elias said without hesitation. As he turned to leave, the prisoner spoke one last time. "Elias Mar of Earth," it said, its voice steadier than before. "You saw me." Elias paused at the door. "Yes," he said, "I did." Behind the cold walls, systems recorded something they had never seen before. For the first time since the prisoner had been sealed behind the alien bars, its stress markers dropped. And somewhere deep within the station, something long ignored stirred, unsettled by the simple, dangerous act of one human choosing to listen. Elias Mar returned to the detention wing 3 cycles later. The station had not changed, but he had. The quiet no longer pressed against his chest the way it had during his first visit. Now it felt like a question waiting for an answer. The same corridor opened before him, lights waking as he walked. The same warden stood near the door, its stone-like skin shifting faintly. "You are cleared for entry," the warden said. "Your previous interaction produced Unusual results. Elias did not ask what that meant. He only nodded and stepped forward. The door opened, and the soft hum of the containment field filled the air. The prisoner was already standing this time. That alone told Elias more than any report ever could. The green skin being faced him, posture straighter, eyes alert. The faint light beneath its skin glowed a little brighter than before, like embers stirred by breath. Elias stopped at the same distance as last time. He did not rush. He did not smile too quickly. "Hello," he said. "I'm glad to see you again." The prisoner watched him closely. "You returned." "Yes," Elias said simply. "I said I would." The alien's skin shifted, a slow wave of color passing from its shoulders down its limbs. "Many promise," it said. "Few return." Elias felt a familiar weight settle in his chest. "Humans break promises too," he admitted, "but we try not to forget the ones that matter." Silence followed, but it was not uncomfortable. It felt almost thoughtful. "You spoke of stories," the prisoner said, "last time." "I did," Elias replied. "Would you like to hear another?" "Yes." The answer came faster than Elias expected. He nodded and sat down on the floor, crossing his legs. The observers would not like that. It showed vulnerability, equality, but Elias did it anyway. "On Earth," he began, "we once believed the sky was a solid thing, a great dome above us. When it cracked during storms, we thought the world was ending." The prisoner listened without moving. "But we learned," Elias continued. "We learned the sky wasn't breaking, it was changing, and change felt like danger until we understood it." The green glow beneath the alien skin pulsed slowly. "You feared what you did not understand." "We still do," Elias said. "We just try to fear it less than we used to." The prisoner was quiet for a long time. Then it asked, "Why do you share these things with me?" Elias considered the question carefully. "Because you've been alone with your memories for a very long time, and because memories grow heavier when they aren't shared." The alien's eyes dimmed slightly. "They made me alone on purpose." "I know," Elias said softly. The containment field hummed, reacting to the increase in neural activity again. Somewhere beyond the walls, analysts leaned closer to their screens. "They feared what I carry," the prisoner said. "Not my body, not my mind, my remembering." "What do you remember?" Elias asked. The alien did not answer right away. Its skin darkened, then slowly brightened again, like a deep breath taken after long restraint. "I remember cities that no longer exist," it said. "Worlds turned silent, species who trusted the conquered and vanished into footnotes." Elias clenched his hands together but kept his voice steady. "And you were blamed for that." "I was blamed for refusing to forget it," the prisoner replied, "for refusing to let them be rewritten as accidents." Elias felt a cold understanding settle over him. "On Earth," he said, "we've done that too. We've rewritten pain so we wouldn't have to face it." "Did it work?" the alien asked. "No," Elias said, "it never does." The prisoner's glow brightened slightly. "Then you understand why I am still here." "Yes," Elias said. "I think I do." Time passed quietly as Elias spoke of human history in simple terms. Not victories, not heroes, but mistakes, apologies, and slow progress. He spoke of how humans argued endlessly, disagreed loudly, and still found ways to sit at the same table afterward. The prisoner absorbed every word. "You allow disagreement to exist," it said at last. "The conquered does not." Elias nodded. "We think disagreement is a sign that people still care." The alien's eyes narrowed slightly, not in anger but in thought. "That belief would frighten many." "It already does," Elias said. A soft tone sounded in Elias' earpiece, a warning from the observers. His time was nearly half gone. "There's something I want to ask," Elias said, "and you don't have to answer." "Ask," the prisoner said. "What happens to you in this field?" Elias asked. "What does it do to you?" The alien hesitated. For the first time its glow dimmed noticeably. "It quiets me," it said. "Not my body, my senses, my connection to memory, slowly, carefully." Elias' jaw tightened. "So it's meant to erase you." Yes, and it has. No, the prisoner said, because remembering is what I am. Elias exhaled slowly. On Earth, we would call that torture. The alien tilted its head. The conquered calls it mercy. Elias did not reply right away. When he did, his voice was calm but firm. Mercy doesn't ask you to disappear quietly. The prisoner's glow surged brighter than before. The containment field reacted, humming louder for a moment before stabilizing. Outside the cell, alerts flashed. Energy fluctuations. Emotional resonance beyond expected parameters. Inside, something shifted. You speak truths they avoid, the prisoner said. That is why they watch you. I know, Elias replied. They're watching you too. The alien studied him. Then why continue? Elias met its gaze without flinching. Because some risks are worth taking. Silence stretched again. This one felt heavy, almost fragile. You are not like the others, the prisoner said at last. They ask questions to confirm what they believed. You ask to learn what you do not know. Elias smiled faintly. That's one of our better habits. The session ended too soon. As the containment field dimmed slightly, Elias stood. I'll come back again, he said. The alien did not ask if he meant it this time. I will be here, it said instead. When Elias left the room, the warden watched him closely. Your interactions are altering the subject, it said. Yes, Elias replied. That was the point. The warden's skin shifted in a way that suggested discomfort. Change is not always desirable. Elias stopped and looked at it. Neither is stagnation. The warden did not respond. Later, in his assigned quarters, Elias reviewed the reports sent to him. Stress markers down, cognitive activity up. Emotional response classified as unexpected but stable. Hidden in the data was something else. The prisoner was remembering more clearly. Elias leaned back in his chair, staring at the ceiling. He knew what that meant. The conquered would not allow this to continue unchecked. And yet he also knew something else. For the first time in centuries, the green-skinned prisoner was no longer remembering alone. Far away, behind cold alien bars, the faint glow beneath green skin did not fade when the lights dimmed. It waited. Elias Mar was summoned before the conquered council sooner than he expected. The message arrived without warning, a calm request wrapped in authority. He was to present himself immediately. No explanation, no delay. He stood in his quarters for a long moment after reading it, feeling the quiet weight of what was coming. The station outside his window continued its slow turn around the blue star, unchanged and uncaring. He straightened his jacket and left. The council chamber was vast, built to make individuals feel small. Rows of elevated platforms circled a central space, each holding a representative from a different species. Some were tall, some small, some barely solid at all. Lights shifted constantly to match the vision needs of each one. Elias stood alone at the center. You have exceeded your mandate, a voice said, echoing from several directions at once. Elias lifted his head. I fulfilled it. You were sent to observe, another voice said. Not to interfere. I observed, Elias replied calmly, and I learned. A ripple of unease moved through the chamber. The prisoner's cognitive patterns have changed, a representative said. This is unacceptable. Yes, Elias said, they've improved. That being was designated a threat, the voice insisted. To what? Elias asked. To stability. Elias nodded slowly. That's what I thought. The chamber fell quiet. Explain yourself, human, the first voice said. Elias took a breath. He spoke slowly, choosing words that would not be misunderstood. The prisoner is not dangerous because of what it can do. It is dangerous because of what it remembers, and because those memories do not align with the version of history the conquered prefers. The reaction was immediate. Light patterns flared, bodies shifted. A low hum of shared data filled the chamber. You are accusing the conquered of deception, a voice said. No, Elias replied. I'm saying you chose comfort over truth. That is an emotional judgment. So is calling memory a threat, Elias said. Silence returned, sharper than before. "The sessions will end," the council declared. Immediately, Elias felt the decision land like a stone in his chest, but he did not show it. "Then I request one final visit." "No. I request it formally," Elias said, "under conquered law as a representative of a continuity species." That term caused another ripple. "Humanity does not hold that designation," the council said. "Not officially," Elias replied, "but we qualify." A pause followed as systems verified his claim. "You remember your past," Elias continued. "You argue over it, you preserve it even when it embarrasses you. You teach it to your young. That is continuity." The chamber processed this. At last, a single voice spoke. "One final visit, observed, restricted." Elias bowed his head. "Thank you." He did not waste time. The detention wing felt different when he returned, heavier somehow. The lights seemed dimmer, the air colder. The green-skinned prisoner stood waiting. "You came quickly," it said. "Yes," Elias replied. "We don't have much time." The alien studied his face. "They are afraid." "Yes," Elias said, "and they should be." The containment field shimmered faintly as Elias stepped closer than he ever had before. Sensors protested, but he ignored them. "They're going to silence you," Elias said. "Not by destroying you, by burying you." The prisoner's glow dimmed, then steadied. "I expected this." "I know," Elias said. "That's why I asked for this meeting." The alien tilted its head. "You cannot free me." "No," Elias said. "But I can change the question." He sat down again, close to the field. "The conquered believes the only choices are imprisonment or release," Elias said. "They don't understand witness." The alien was silent. "On Earth," Elias continued, "we have a concept. Someone who is not free but whose voice cannot be ignored. Someone who testifies even if the truth is uncomfortable." "You would let me speak," the prisoner said slowly. "Yes," Elias replied. "Not to overthrow, not to accuse, just to remember out loud." The containment field hummed as the alien's neural activity surged. "They will resist," the prisoner said. "They already are," Elias replied. "But humans are stubborn. We file appeals. We argue definitions. We ask why until people get tired of saying no." A faint shift of color passed across green skin, something like surprise, something like hope. "What would you ask of me?" the alien said. "Nothing," Elias answered. "Just be what you already are." The alarms did not sound, but the pressure in the room increased. The observers were listening closely now. "Then I will speak," the prisoner said. It raised one thin hand, placing it against the inner surface of the field. The room changed, not physically, but something deep within the station responded. Data streams surged. Memory projections activated under controlled limits. Images filled the air. Worlds bloomed and faded. Civilizations rose, argued, compromised, failed. Treaties rewritten. Atrocities softened by language. Names erased. The council saw what they had hidden from themselves. "This is destabilizing," a voice shouted. "This is history," Elias replied. The projection ended as gently as it had begun. Silence fell again, but this time it was different. It was not denial. It was reckoning. The council deliberated for a long time. Elias waited. So did the prisoner. At last the decision came. "The prisoner will not be released," the council said, "but the conditions of containment will change." The containment field softened, shifting from suppression to preservation. "The subject will be designated a witness," the council continued. "Its memories will be archived, protected, and accessible under supervision." The alien's glow brightened, warm and steady. "And humanity?" Elias asked. The council paused. "Humanity will be designated a continuity species. You will oversee preservation efforts." Elias closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them, his expression was calm. "We accept." The chamber dimmed. Later, Elias returned to the cell one last time. The bars were still there, but they no longer felt cold. "You did not free me," the green-skinned alien said. "No," Elias replied, "but you're no longer alone." The alien inclined its head. You returned. Yes, Elias said, that's what we do. As Elias turned to leave, the prisoner spoke softly. You are not strong because you endure, it said. You are strong because you return. Elias smiled. Behind him, memory remained alive.